in dignity in fair Verona where we lay our siege.
It's just Juliet.
When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?
No.
Tush, never tell me I take it much unkindly that thou, Iago, who hast my purse.
Try again. I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort and none of name.
I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine named Claudia.
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from wars or no?
I don't know that name, lady. There is none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he hath returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. My uncle's fool reading the challenge subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. He'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath all to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's sort of a merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So if it be wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it as a difference between himself and his horse, for it is all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! You will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio, if he hath caught the Benedict. It'll cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You'll never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Good Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict! No, for then you were a child.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meet food to feed it as Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, for it is certain I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood. I am of your humor for that. I'd rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
May God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and for such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. In God's name I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
This is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio and Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato, hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord, being reconciled to the prince, your brother. I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please let your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonato. We will go together.
Benedict! Didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
Oh, I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady? I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she is too low for a high praise and too little for a great praise.
I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquired after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel? In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed of fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Oh, it's come to this? In faith hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion. Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Oh, go to. In faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into the yoke. Wear the print of it and sigh away Sunday. Look, Don Pedro is returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonato's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
He is in love. With who? That is your grace's part. With Hero, Leonato's daughter.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I do likewise give her my most humble thanks. But because I will not do women the wrong and mistrust any, I will do myself the right and trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted. And in those same great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign here, you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Oh, nay! If Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Nay, mock not, ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, Your Highness may now do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonato any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
My lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye that liked but had a rougher task in hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou wilt sound like a lover presently, and tire the hearer with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and thou shalt have her. Was not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I'll assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with a force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear good reason.
And when I've heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. Cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach and wait for no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy and tend on no man's business, laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make the full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother. He hath taken you newly into his grace. Where it is impossible, you must take true roots, but by the fair weather you make yourself. It is needful to frame the season of your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. And it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though, I cannot be said to be a flattering honest man. It must not be denied, but I am a plain-dealing villain.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it only. What news, Baraccio?
I come yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Well, search for any model to build mischief on.
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? And who? Which way looks he?
Mary on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
Very forward-marched chick. Come, let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him any way, I bless myself every way. You both are sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great supper. Their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Would the cook were of my mind. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
is not Count John here at supper?
Oh, he is of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half of Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half of Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world, if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou will never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. God sends a cursed cow short horns, but a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing I am at him on my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I'd rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband with no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I'll eat and take.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to one day see you fitted with a husband.
Not till God make man of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust?
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault be with the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering. Brother, make good room.
You are Senor Antonio.
And a word I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
But to tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You could never do him so ill will unless you were the very man. There's his dry hand up and down. You are he. You are he.
At a word, I am not.
Come. Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, mum. You are he. Graces will appear, and there's an end.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly, look sweetly, and say nothing. I'm yours to look. Especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
And when please you to say so, speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would you did like me.
Oh, so will not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I'd love you the better. The hearers may cry, Amen!
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen!
God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk is answered.
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you tell me who you are.
Now.
That I was disdainful. That was Signor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
He's the prince's jester. A very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. I'm sure he's in the fleet. I would he would be.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I will leave them at the next turn.
Sure, my brother is amorous on Hero and hath withdrawn her father to break with him about it. The ladies follow him, but one visor remains, and that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing. Are not you, Signor Benedict?
Oh, you know me well. I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother in his love. He is, enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She's no equal for his birth, and you may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection. He swore he would marry her tonight.
Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself?
Come, let us to the banquet.
Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. This is an accident of hourly proof which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count! Claudio!
Yea, the same.
Come! Will you go with me?
Whither?
The prince hath got your Hero.
Woo! I wish him joy of her.
Why did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you, leave me. If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me? The prince's fool, huh? It may be I go under that title because I am merry. Yay! But I'm so apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, Signor, where's the Count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace hath got the goodwill of Hero.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with one green leaf on it, would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose because they would go thither.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the furthest inch of Asia. Anything but have 3 words conference with this harpy. You have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, God, sir, here is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad? Here, Claudio, I have wooed in thy name, and fair Hero is won. I have broke with her father, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace has made a match, and grace has said amen to it.
Speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss, and let not him speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. Good Lord for alliance, and thus goes every one to the world, but I may sit in a corner and cry, hey-ho, for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you?
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord, unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear in a day. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to the things I told you of?
Cry your mercy, uncle, by your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady, she were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord! My lord, if they were married but a week, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord! Time goes on crutches till love have all his rights.
No! Not until Monday, my son, which is just 7 nights.
Come, I warrant you, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I shall, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other.
My lord, I'm for you, though it cost me 10 nights washing.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me. I am sick in displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me. I think I told your lordship a year since that how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the lady hero's waiting
Yes,
gentlewoman.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
And what life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio to a whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
And what proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, to kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them you know Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio that you have discovered thus. They'll scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero. Hear Margaret term me Claudio.
bring them to see this the very night before the intended wedding. There shall appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy will be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Be cunning in the working this, and thy fees 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I'll presently go learn their day of marriage.
I do much wonder how one man, seeing how much another man is a fool, when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. He was wont to speak plainly and to the purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned orthography. His words a very fantastical banquet, just so many strange dishes. Could I be so converted and see with these eyes? Cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn. But love may transform me into an oyster, but I take my oath on it. Until he hath made an oyster out of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces lie in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none, virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her, mild, or come not near me, noble, or not I for the angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Oh, the prince of Monsieur Love. I will hide me in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Yea, my good lord. How still the evening is, as if hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself? Come, Balthazar, we'll hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Zach's not so bad a voice to slander music more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. Now, pray thee, come. Or if thou wilt argue longer, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There isn't a note of mine worth the noting.
Why, these are very crotchets that he speaks. Note, notes, forsooth, and noting.
Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Then were deceivers.
Now, divine heir. Now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep's guts should hail the souls out of men's bodies?
Not so, but let them go and
Will a horn for my money when all's done. And he had been a dog that should have howled thus, they would have hanged him. I pray to God his bad voice bode no mischief. I had his leaf, have heard the night raven. Come what plague could come after him.
Not of men was ever so, since summer first was leafy. Then sigh not so, but let them go.
By my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, Faith, thou singest well enough for a shift. Now, yea, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, get us some excellent music. For tomorrow night we would have it at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Come hither, Leonato. What was it you told me of today? That your niece Beatrice was in love with Signor Benedict?
Oh, aye! Stuck on, the foul sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither, but most wonderful she should so dote on Signor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behaviors seem ever to abhor.
is possible. Sits the wind in that corner.
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Ooh, bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this a go, but that this old Leonardo speaks it, knavery cannot sure hide himself in such reverence.
You've taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That is her torment.
'Tis true indeed, so your daughter says. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him? Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience!
Doth indeed. My daughter says so. Hero is sometime afeard that she will do a desperate outrage to herself. 'Tis very true.
It were good that Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent, sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedict. I pray you, tell Benedict of it and hear what he will say.
Word good, think you.
A hero thinks that surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not, and she will die if she make her love known, and she will die if he woo her.
She should make tender of her love. 'Tis very possible he'll scorn her. For the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind, very wise.
He doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
As Hector, I assure you, and in the managing of quarrels you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that is impossible. She will wear her heart out first.
Well, we will learn more of it by your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how much he is unworthy so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there be the same nut spread for her, and that must her daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear it proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she will rather die than show any signs of affection. I never did think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they who hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say that the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so I cannot reprove it. And wise. But for loving me by my troth, it is no addition to her wit. nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd remnants and old quirks of wit broken on me because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth that he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said that I would die a bachelor, I did never think that I should live till I were married. Oh, here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady, and I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message.
Yea, so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, Signor. Very well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. If I do not take pity on her, then I am guilty, and if I do not love her, then I am undone. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There wilt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudia. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us and bid her steal into the pleached bower where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against the power that bred them. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Fare thee well in it, and leave us alone. And leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Oh, now begin. For look, where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close by the ground to hear a conference.
Pleasant as angling is to see the fish cut with their golden oars, the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous bait. So we angle for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the woodbine coverture. Fear you not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, so her ear lose nothing of that false sweet bait we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirit are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new betrothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they love Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection and never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full a fortune of bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
Oh, God of love! I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn right sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, that she would spell him backwards. So turns she every man the wrong way out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchase it.
Sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air, laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like covered fire, consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. 'Tis a better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No. Rather, I'll counsel Benedict to fight against his passions, and truly I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she's prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedict.
He is the only man of Italy, always excepted my dear Claudio.
I pray you be not angry with me, madam. Speaking my fancy, Signor Benedict, for shape, for bearing, argument, and valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why? Every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in with me. I'll show thee some attire and have thy counsel which is best to fashion me in.
She's limes, I warrant you. We've caught her, madam.
If it prove so, then loving goes by haps. Some cupids kill with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell. Maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on, I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
Gallants, I am not as I had been.
So says I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love. Hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
What, sigh for the toothache?
Whereas but a humor or a worm.
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
If he be not in love with some woman, there is no believing old signs. Brushes his hat o' mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
He does look younger than he did by the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
Oh, that's as much to say the sweet youth's in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself, for the which I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stops.
Indeed, it tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill qualities, and, in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet is this no charm for the toothache. Old signor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so! Hero and Margaret have by this played their part with Beatrice. And then the 2 bears will not fight one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, as Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been too long a talking of. The lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she. Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal.
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you have a worse title, and I will fit her to it. But wonder not till further warrant. Go up with me tonight. You will see her chamber window entered even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation where I should wed, there I will shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly but till midnight, and let the issue show itself.
Oh, day untowardly turned.
No mischief strangely thwarting.
Oh, plague right well prevented! So will you say when you have seen the sequel.
The sense of the ridiculous is very strong in me. I burst in fits of laughter at everything I see. So when in for my mind long has fallen on her hair, I
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else they were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Upcake, sir. Well, or George Seacole, for they can write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a well-favored name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune. But to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable.
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, well, let that appear when there is no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man for constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
If he will not stand what he has been, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You must also make no noise in the street, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, You may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man, and with such kinds of men, the less you meddle or make with him, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch will be defiled. Therefore, the most peaceable way, if you do take a thief, is to let him prove himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You've always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by your lady, I think I cannot.
5 shillings to 1 honor with any man who knows the statutes, he may stay him. Marry, not without the prince be willing, for the watch ought to offend no man, and it is an offense to stay a man against his will.
Oh, by your lady, I think it be so.
One word more, honest neighbors. I pray you, watch about Signor Leonardo's door, for the wedding being tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Be great attent, I beseech you, adieu.
What, Conrad?
Here, man, at thy elbow.
Man, at my elbow wished I thought there would a scab follow.
I owe thee an answer for that, and forward with thy towel.
Stand thee close that under this penthouse, for it drizzles rain, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Oh, some treason, masters! Yet, stand close.
Therefore, know I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible any villainy be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it were possible any villainy be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
As shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest the fashion of a doublet or hat or cloak is nothing to a man.
Yea, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Gosh, I may as well say a fool's a fool. Seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
Oh, I know that deformed. He has been a vile thief this 7 year. Goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear somebody?
No, 'twas the vein on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about all the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30.
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out the apparel more than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, as thou shifted out of thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so, neither. But know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero, by the name of Hero. She leads me out her mistress's chamber window, and bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted, placed, and possessed by my master Don John, saw far off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought they Margaret was Hero.
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil, my master, knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which first possessed them, and partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away went Claudio enraged, swore he would meet her as he was appointed the next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation shame her with what he saw o'er night, and send her home again without a husband.
I charge you in the prince's name, stand!
Master! Master!
Never speak! I charge you, let me obey you to go with me.
No braiding egg. I'll wear this.
Why, my troth's not so good, and I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
Oh, I like the new tie you're within excellently, if the hair were a thought browner, and your gown's a most rare fashion, in faith.
Well, God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Which will be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband in bad thinking do not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier a husband? None, I think, and it be the right husband and the right wife, otherwise 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero. Oh, 'tis almost 5 o'clock. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I'm exceeding ill, hey-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, ache.
These gloves the Count sent me, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
Oh, a maid and stuff! There's goodly catching of cold.
God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Oh, even since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
Oh, it is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Oh, madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedict, Don John, and all the gallants of the town are come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good coz, good Meg.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Mary, sir, I have some confidence with you that discerns you. Nearly.
Be brief, I pray you. It is a busy time.
Mary, yes it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, good friends?
Good man Verges speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not as blunt as God help I would desire they were. But if they, honest as the skin between his brows.
Oh, yes, I thank God that I am as honest as any man living. That is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, neighbor Verges. Palabras!
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, ah?
Hey, and 'twere 1,000 pound more than 'tis, for I hear as good exclamation on your worship as any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, expecting your worship's presence, had taken a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
An old man, sir. He will be talking. As they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. It is a world to see. Well said, if faith, neighbor Burgess. Good, but God is good. And 2 men ride of a horse. One must ride behind. But if faith, an honest soul by my troth, as ever broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
Mary, sir, our watch, sir, hath indeed comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined by your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it to me. I am now in great haste as it may appear unto you.
It shall be suffragance.
Drink some wine ere you go. Farewell.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall bring some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail. No.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief into the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you have any inward impediment why you two should not be conjoined, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any hero? None, my lord.
Know you any count?
Dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now, interjections? Why, some be a-laughing.
Standing by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As really, son, as God did give me her.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonardo, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Is my lord well that he doth speak so well?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link a dear friend to a common stale.
Are these words spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken. These things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God. Leonardo, stand I here? Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face, heroes? Are our eyes our own?
All of this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me move but one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can Hero! Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. What man was he talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer to this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then you are no maiden. Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon mine honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who hath indeed most like a villain confessed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, they are not to be named, my lord.
No.
Hero, what a hero thou hast been! If half thy outward graces were placed about the thoughts and counsels of thy heart, but fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell!
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Oh, now, cousin, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let's go. These things come thus to light, smother her spirits.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle. Hero. My hero. Uncle. Signor Benedict Friar.
O fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest color for her shame that may be wished for.
Oh, no, cousin.
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly creature cry shame upon her? Could she not hear deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not open thine eyes. For if I thought thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirit stronger than thy shame, myself would, on the rearward of approaches, strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes?
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder I know not what to say.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although this past 12 month I have been her bedfellow.
Oh, confirmed! Confirmed! Oh, that is stronger maid which was before barred up with ribs of iron. For the two princes lie, and Claudio lie, who loved her so, and speaking of her foulness, watched it with his tears. Hence from her, let her die!
Hear me a little. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor observation. Trust not my age, calling, nor divinity. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest plainly that all the grace she hath left is to not add to her damnation and sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is it he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. Let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours unmeet, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to
The two of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms have been misled in this, the practice of it lies in John the Bastard, whose spirit toils in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but true of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, time hath not yet dried this blood of mine. The proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Hear me a little. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading nor observation. If this sweet lady lie not guiltless is here under some biting error.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Marry, this will carry shall in her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good, but not for that dream I on this strange course. She, dying as it must still be maintained, upon the instant she was accused, shall be pitied, lamented, and accused of every hearer. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, coming apparelled in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, full of life than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though, he thought his accusation true. But if this aim be but levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death shall quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for the strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day be but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, yet I shall weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Truly, I do believe that your fair cousin is wrong.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do.
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in this world so well as you. It's not that strange.
As strange as the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you. Yet believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I'm sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that swears I love not you.
You will not eat your word.
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest I love thee.
Why then God forgive me?
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You stayed me in a happy hour, for I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone though I am here. There is no love in you. Nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height the villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man. What, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and there with public accusation uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor. Oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper thing.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged. She is dishonored, she is undone.
Beatrice,
princes and county. Surely a princely testimony, a goodly Count Comfect, a sweet gallant, surely. That I were a man for his sake, or had any friend, would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, and valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He's now as valiant as Hercules that merely tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, and therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love, some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say that she is dead. Farewell.
Is our whole dissembly appeared?
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain we have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Hey, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down
Borachio!
yours, sirrah.
I am a gentleman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yes, sir.
We hope.
Right, they hope they serve God, but write God first. For God defend, but God should not go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than errant knaves. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Oh, well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you written down? They are none. Master, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Right, write down Prince John's brother. What? That's flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Mr. Constable.
Prithee, fellow, peace. I do not like they look, I promise you.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had earned 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully, and that Count Claudio did mean, upon his word, to disgrace Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain! Thou shalt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the sudden brief of this died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought before Leonatos. I will go before and show him their examinations.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Away. You are an ass. You are an ass.
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as ever there was in Messina. And one who knows the law, go to. And a rich fellow enough, go to. And one who hath had losses, and one who hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Come, bring them away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water into a sieve. Give me not counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe, the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, as thus for thus, and such a grief for such, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. 'Tis all men's office to speak patience to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no man's virtue nor sufficiency to be so moral to endure the like himself. Therefore, give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There, thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, and so shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here comes Claudio hastily. Good day to both of you.
Some haste, my lord. Well, farewell, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with me, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler, thou... Nay, never lay thy hand on thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man. I speak not like a fool nor a dotard. As under privilege of age to brag, what I had done being young, or what I would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy hand. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child in me. I am forced to lay my reverence by. And with gray hairs and bruise of many days, do challenge thee to a trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander goes through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, and a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
Away! I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so dash me? Thou hast killed my child, if thou killst me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed. But that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me or wear me. Let him answer me. Come, follow me, boy. Come, sir boy. Come, follow me, sir boy. I'll whip you from your foining fence. Nay, as I am a gentleman, I will.
Brother.
Content yourself. God knows I love my niece, and she is dead. Slandered to death by villains.
Brother Anthony.
Come, 'tis no matter. Do not you meddle. Let me deal in this.
I will not hear you.
No. Come, brother, away. I will be heard.
Shall, or some of us will smart for it.
Good day, my lord.
We have been up and down to seek thee. For we are high proof melancholy and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career, and you charge it against me. I pray you choose another subject.
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you so that I may have good cheer.
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Just, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Certain, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday morning, on Monday night, which he forswore to me on Tuesday morning. There's a double tongue. There's two tongues. Thus did she an hour together transshape thy particular virtues, yet at last she concluded with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily, and then said she cared not.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on sensible Benedict's head?
Yea, and the text underneath, here dwells Benedict, the married man.
Fare thee well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God forbid hurt not. My lord, for your many courtesies, I thank you. I must discontinue your service. Your brother, the bastard, hath fled from Messina. You among you have killed a sweet, innocent lady. And so peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant thee, for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
But soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you must be looked to.
How now? One of my brother's men bound. Officers, what offense has this man done?
Marry, sir, he hath committed false report. Moreover, he has spoken untruths. Secondarily, he is a slander. Sixth and lastly, he hath belied a lady. Thirdly, he has verified unjust things. And to conclude, he is a lying knave!
First, I ask thee what he has done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's his offense. Sixth, and lastly, why he is committed. And to conclude, what you lay to his charge.
Sweet prince, let me go no farther to mine answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light. Who in the night overheard me confessing how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the lady hero. How you were brought to the orchard, saw me court Margaret in hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I'd rather seal with my death than repeat over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation. Briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he utters it.
But did my brother set thee onto this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon his villainies.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear to me in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiff. By this time our sexton hath informed Signor Leonato of the matter. Masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes so that when I note another like him, I may avoid him.
To know you're wrong or look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hath killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose your revenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That's where impossible. But I do pray to both of you, possess the people here in Messina how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you cannot be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter, almost a copy of my child that's dead. And she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the rights you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Noble sir, your over-kindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow morning come you to my house. Tonight, I take my leave.
Moreover, sir, which is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, this offender, did call me ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment.
Go. I discharge thee of the prisoner, and I thank thee. Tomorrow morning, come you to my house. Farewell, my lords.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
This God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean, in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer, Troilus, the first employer of Pander, and a whole book full of these quondam carpet mongers whose names yet run smoothly as in the even road of a blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I have tried. I can make out no rhyme for lady, but baby. An innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Such ominous endings, no. I was not born under a rhyming planet. Nor I cannot woo in festival terms. And knows me, how pitiful I deserve. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, Signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Then is spoken. Fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that which I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon will I kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word of his right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell you plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I shall hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. I pray thee now, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not permit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love, a good epithet. I do suffer love indeed, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There is not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the line of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in this age his own tomb ere he dies, why, he shall live no longer in monument than the bell rings or the widow weeps.
How long is that, think you?
Question. Why, an hour in clamor and a quarter in ruin. Therefore is it most expedient for the wise to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who I myself will bear witness is praiseworthy. And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. And thereupon will I leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle yonder's coil at home. It is proved my lady here hath been falsely accused, the prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John, the author of it all, who's fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go here this year, Senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thy eyes. And I will go with thee to thy house.
Is this the monument of Leonardo?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death, in guerdon of her wrongs, gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Hang thou there upon the tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now, music, sound, and sing your solemn hymn. Pardon, goddess of the night, those who slew thy virgin night. For the witch with songs of woe, round about her tomb they go. Midnight, assist our moan, help us to sigh and groan heavily, heavily. Graves, yawn and yield your dead, till death be uttered heavily.
Come, let us hence and put on other weeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the Prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error you heard debated. But Margaret was at some fault for this, although against her will in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, paper by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio did promise by this hour to visit me. Brother, you know your office.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think,
To do what, senor?
to bind me, or undo me, one of them. Senor Leonato, truth it is, good senor, that your niece has an eye of regard for me.
That I believe my daughter lent her. 'Tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight whereof you had from me, from Claudio and the Prince. But what is your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical. But for my will is your goodwill shall stand with ours on this day to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, for which, dear friar, I will desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the Prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined to marry my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind.
Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, of storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove when he played the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low. In some such strange bowl leaped your father's cow, and got himself a calf in that same noble feat, which much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this, I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady that I must seize upon?
This here is she, and I do give her you.
Why, then she is mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not until you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Give me your hand. Before this holy friar, I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live.
The former hero that is dead.
She died, my lord, whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after the holy rites are ended I shall tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Oh. Well, your uncle and the prince and Claudio have been deceived. They swore that you did.
Do not you love me?
Oh, troth, no more than reason.
Why, then my cousin, Margaret and Ursula, they are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you would well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me.
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin. Surely you do love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another. Writ in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle. Our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. But by this light, I do take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion. And partly to save your life, for I was told you are in a consumption.
Peace! I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of witcrackers could not flout me out of my guilt. For thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but as thou art like to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied Beatrice, that I might have cudgeled thee out of thy single life.
Come, we are friends. Let us have a dance ere we are married, so that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We will have dancing afterward.
First of my word, therefore play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife.
Get thee a wife.